Tim's up.
Are we ready for loan committee?
Yes, we are, I think. So I'd like to formally call the meeting of the loan committee to order. Member Bennett is not here, is that correct?
That is correct.
And new member Milanovic, John, welcome to the loan committee.
Thank you very much. Excited.
So I'll start off by calling for, is there any public comment on issues within our committee's jurisdiction? Okay, seeing none, I'll move to our second item. We've got two sets of minutes to approve. The meeting from October the 9th and the special meeting from December the 5th. So I don't know, Member Milanovic, if you had a chance to read those, you obviously weren't at the meetings.
Yeah, I read through a section here, but I assume that they're correct and will happily motion their acceptance if that's all.
Make a motion, thank you, and I will second it. So all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next on my list then would be executive director comments.
All right, Mr. Chairman, December 31, we wrapped up the fourth and final round of the down payment assistance loan program. Moved about $83 million in ARPA funds out the door. We created about $237 million in economic activity from that when you look at the how much the equity and the banks were participating in that loan program. Payments on that start a year from 27?
2 years.
2 years from January. So January of 27, we'll start receiving those payments back, plus interest. We've already started getting interest. Most of them are getting funded, so that's been great news. Yeah, that's been that consumed December. So otherwise, nothing to report.
Thank you. Any questions for Dan? So moving forward, we've got a couple of loan requests that need action. So commercial loan requests, Doug?
Good morning, everyone. So we have two loan requests today it's a participation loan. The first one is for Bretsco LLC, the lender is Bank of Montana. And the second loan is Mining City Real Estate LLC, which is another company owned by Mark Bretz and company. And the lender is Bank of Montana. Under the credit information, I've broken up the two loans. You can see the Bank of Montana's portion, which is 20%, their amount, their rate, the term, and then the annualized payment that they all have. And then below that is the Board of Investments portion, which is 80%. You can see our amount, our interest rate, term is the same, and then our payment. And then you can see the total amount for Bretsco LLC. And then below that, you see the loan to Mining City Real Estate LLC. You see the Bank of Montana's portion, the BOI portion. There is one correction there. That loan should be 20057, not 20056. But you can see the total amount of that loan. Staff has reviewed the lender's loan review and supporting documentation and recommends approval for participations in the loans for Bank of Montana. The purpose of the loan, 20056 to Bretsco, to provide long-term financing for the acquisition of the Missoula properties. And then the purpose of loan 20057 is to provide long-term financing for the Butte properties. If you turn to the next page, you'll see the current BOI loans that we have with the Brett's companies. Everything has been paid as agreed. You can see the total dollar amount, and since the aggregate amount exceeds 5 million, the loan has to be reviewed and approved by loan committee and then recommended to the full board for approval on that. Under the summary analysis, this kind of encompasses the items that I kind of focus on for each loan. I talk about the real estate holding company and the operating company. There is a change. I made an error here. Brett's Co. and Mining City are the real estate holding companies, and they'll lease to Brett's Companies, Inc. So I just had them in reverse order there. The appraised value on the properties are satisfactory. And when I look at this, I'm essentially looking at the 75% loan to value, which is our policy. And so 75% loan to value is determined by the purchase price of the property or the appraised value, whichever is less. So I start with that, and then we calculate what the loan to value or loan to cost is going to be. And if the loan to value or loan to cost is 75% or less, then the Board of Investments can participate in 80% of the lender's loan, which they met those requirements, and that's why we're participating in 80% of the loan. We are taking a first lien on all the properties being financed, and then we're also taking a second lien on the Butte property just as additional collateral. The debt service coverage based on the 22 and 23 tax returns and 24 year-to-date internal financial statements shows the debt service coverage at 3.8, and that exceeds our policy of 1.25. So with that, if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have on these loans.
I thought that we were going into executive session on, when do we go? I thought, forgive me, so I guess I misunderstood when, in the onboarding. For these loans, is this something the time before it goes into the executive session to discuss, or if we're to discuss them, do we go into executive session?
The only time we go into executive session is if you had questions that would violate the applicant's right to privacy. There are some trade secrets and personally identifiable information in the loans. So if you had questions about those, then we could go into executive session. If it was just questions about the loan and BOI's participation in it, then we just stay in open session because we're lending public funds.
Yeah, let's, if you don't mind, I think it makes sense to go into executive session just for a couple quick questions.
Okay, that's your call.
So I guess this is new to me, but let's go into executive session. Does
Okay.
that require us to get off?
Yep, Savvy, would you boot everybody except Mr. Day and Cindy?
Yep, I will do it right now.
Thank you.
I don't mean to boot people, I mean, are we?
I don't.
I thought we could just turn it off, the video.
Well, we've got the lender and Cindy online, so we'd have to. Everybody, if you're paying attention, please
Okay,
leave.
They can rejoin.
huh?
Yeah, they can rejoin.
They just go into the waiting room.
That'll be fine.
So I guess,
Hold on one second. Okay. I'm the host and,
I'm leaving now. You should be good to go.
okay, thank you.
so I guess